15th, 2005, Todd Geib, age 22, Casanova, Michigan. Todd Geib, 22, was last seen at a keg party and bonfire in the early morning hours of Sunday, June 12, 2005. The party, of 100 people, was held behind an apple orchard in a rural part of Casanova, Michigan, a marshy area containing 6 miles of high grass. Geib apparently left the party to walk to his cousin's home at 291 Moon Court, where he rented a room. He lived near Half Moon Lake, about a mile and a half southeast of the party site, and may have been seen walking along Moon Road. Geib was last heard from during a series of cell phone calls between the hours of 12:47 a.m. and 12:57 a.m. on Sunday. At 12:47 a.m., he called a friend who had driven him to the party to say that he had had enough and was walking home. He then called a friend at 12:51 a.m., but all that was said is, "I'm in a field," before the phone cut off. The friend called back and heard only what she thought was either breathing or the wind before the call ended. The phone was then used twice over the next few minutes in an attempt to call a friend back, with his last attempt ending at 12:57 a.m. Geib's phone was not used again after that, neither were his credit cards. The area where Geib was last seen was thoroughly searched 3 times. During one of the searches, an estimated 1,500 volunteers, as well as an aircraft searched the area around the party site. Nothing was found. 3 weeks later, on July 2nd, 2005, Todd Geib's body was discovered in a remote pond near the party. It was reported, according to the couple who found Todd, he was standing upright on Obenhall Lake. They remember it distinctly because his head and shoulders were sticking out of the water. With a blood alcohol content of 0.12, the cause of death was ruled drowning. The manner of death was ruled undetermined, and the Michigan State Police closed Todd's case, Pale 6/12/09. One police officer initially provided speculations to Geib's mother, Kathy, that her son had gone for a swim. But it didn't make sense. Geib was found fully clothed with his wallet in his pocket. Geib's family does not believe the official ruling. They believe Todd Geib died as a result of a homicide. In 2009, Geib's autopsy report and recovery photos were reviewed by Dr. Michael Sikorica, a board-certified forensic pathologist and CEO of Forensic Identification and Profiling Laboratory. He showed the file to his team. Other investigators also shared the data at an international convention of medical examiners. All agreed with Dr. S.'s conclusion that Todd Geib, who had been missing for 3 weeks, had been dead 2 to 5 days. Despite these new findings, the Michigan State Police refused to reopen Todd Geib's case. In March 2010, Kathy Geib told WZZM 13, "We can't bring him back with an investigation, but Todd deserves justice," said Kathy Geib. "It's almost like saying Todd's life is worth nothing when we have all this evidence and no one to turn back to see what happened." Kathy Geib is still fighting to get this case reopened. A small rally, Justice for Todd, was held June 10th, 2012, in Ravenna, Michigan, to help urge police to change their minds. "There were no water in his lungs," she elaborated in an interview with Heather Lynn Peters of MLive on June 6, 2012. "From what we have found from the professionals, he had been placed in the water after he was dead. They are 100% in agreement that in this case, there were clues missed." She hopes it will be enough for police to open the case. Here's the case details. His name is Todd Geib, 22. He is from Ravenna, Michigan. He was last seen 6/15/05 in Casanova, Michigan. He was recovered on 7/2/05 in Obenhall Lake. The investigating agency is Michigan State Police. Below, I will post all of the sources to links. I think we as a collective, with all of the cases, specifically Kylie Rodney's, and the similarities and the weirdness, We need to start as a collective to hold law enforcement accountable, to reopen cases, to reinvestigate cases, and get some answers for these families. Thank you.